Hello everybody, it's Maikito, and going over last video's picks. When it came to the YouTube ones, like the one specifically in the video, player wise I had 1 DMP, 6 total player ones, 3 hit, which were Boanga, Cordoba, and Meraz all hit, and then Cucho higher than 5, he ended with 4. Volpe higher than 3, Colorado just played an absolutely horrible game, and then Navarro higher than 2.5 shots. Again, Colorado just played a horrible game. They took like maybe 3 or 4 shots the whole game. They were absolutely dominated. And then I added 6 added plays with the player props and only got 1 wrong, went 5 for 6 on those. Suarez higher than 2 shots, Rossi higher than 2 shots assisted, Angelo lower than 0.5 shots on target, Paulinho higher than 2 shots, Bogus higher than 2.5 shots, all hit. The only miss was Gucho. I instead of taking his shots, I put his shots on target just because I like the lineups. And again, Gucho didn't hit for us, which is unfortunate. And then Moneylines went 1 for 2. LAFC minus 1.5. I did say that was great value, that one hit. And then Cruz Azul Moneyline, they went down 2-0, got a red card, barely came back and tied the game 2-2, but still couldn't get that third goal. So unfortunate. Overall, 8 for 12 when it came to player props, and then overall went 9 for 13. So it was still a good day. And then I didn't make a video because there was only one game, and it was a Super Cup final between Madrid and Atalanta. And I actually did post some in the Discord. I posted 2 prize picks once and 1 underdog one, and 1 out of 2 prize picks hit, so I was profit there. And then the underdog one, I posted a 3-man. And as I'm recording this video, both of the player props hit, and the discount that I added on there, which underdog have discounts that they play every so often, hasn't played yet. But if that hits, which it should, so underdog hitting a 3-man is 6 times your money, so that's 6 units right there. And then on prize pick got 3 units there. So in total, if you would have, if you're on both apps and you put 1 unit on each of the plays, in total you would have won 9 units, so you would have had a 6 unit profit. So still post some plays there. The description, the link for that is always in the description. That Discord is actually owned and ran by the Final Round, aka Jordan. If you guys know who he is, obviously you probably do. A lot of you guys came from there. Let me know if you guys think I should make my own. I just never really thought about it, never really thought about putting in the time to make my own Discord. I'm sure it's not that much of a hassle or anything. So let me know if you guys would be interested in me making my own Discord. Let me know. I mean, it'd be free. It's just for those that want to discuss lines and just discuss the plays that I've posted and stuff like that. So just let me know. And then tomorrow, or the picks for this video is for 2 La Liga games. So La Liga season starts tomorrow. There's a couple player props. Most of the player props are from 1 game because they have them all added. The other one, they haven't quite added them. But either way, there were some props that I did like, so I'll get straight into those. The first player prop is Nabil Fekir to go higher than 2 shots, playing at home for Betis, going up against Girona. He's played in 2 of the friendlies that he's played this season. He played 64 minutes against Liverpool and had 2, and then came off the bench against Man U, only played 21 minutes and got 2. So I like what I'm seeing so far in the friendlies. Obviously, it's just friendlies, so you can take that as you will. But I like the fact that he's shooting recently and like being more aggressive in these friendlies. He averaged 2.4 shots per 90 because he did come off the bench quite a few times last season. He's a good dribbler. Out of the shots he took, 16 were from outside the box and 12 were from inside the box. So I like to take players that are willing to shoot from outside the box, shoot from anywhere. I'm likely, from what I'm projecting for the lineup, he's also going to be probably their free kick taker as well. So if he gets those, he can get shots from there as well. And Girona had a good season last season, but they were good in the attack. They really weren't that good defensively. They allowed a decent amount of shots away from home last season. I believe it was like 14 to 15 to 16 shots, which is a pretty high mark for an away team. Girona had to make the 4th most saves last season, so that shows you that they weren't really that good of a defensive team in general when it came to allowing shots and stuff like that. And the only other player that could have replaced Fekir at that camp position is Isco, but he is currently injured, so he's not an option, which is why I'm pretty confident that Fekir is going to start. And like I said, he's been showing good form in the friendlies. He averaged over 2 when he plays the full game last season. I like this mark for Nabil Fekir to go higher than 2 shots. My next player prop is his teammate Rui Silva to go lower in 3 saves. Again, for Betis, going up against Girona. Betis, first of all, were a pretty good defensive side last season at home. And the only big piece that they lost from last season to this season in the defense was Guido Rodriguez. But even then, they have Roca and Johnny in the CDM, who are both pretty good. They're really good at defending, tackling, and then they still have Lorente and Bartra as center back. Rui Silva was their keeper last year, so they still have a good defense. It's not like it's gonna be like a completely different team that they have to change up and learn the chemistry with. It's pretty much the same team as on defense last season. Guido Rodriguez being the main player that they lost, so I still think they're gonna be a good defensive team. And Girona will not have the attack that gave them that really good season last year. They had Dovbik, who was the top scorer for them last season. He's gone to a different team. Savio, their winger, who was their main player that created chances for them, he's gone. He went to Man City. And then the only other one was Tarsiganov, who even then, he sometimes came off the bench. And he's likely to not play this next game because he is injured. So Betis's whole, Girona's whole attack that they relied upon last season is not going to be available. So they're going to need time to adjust to the players that they do have. I do not think their attack is going to be nearly as good as it was last season. And I think it's a good time to take advantage of Rui Silva, who's first of all playing at home. So they're going to be being good pretty defensively. And two, I do not think he gets 4. I think it's a good safe spot to take Rui Silva to go lower than 3 saves. My next prop on the Girona side, the only prop that I liked was David Lopez to go higher than 67.5 passes. I think it's a good mark for a game that I believe will be around the 50-50% possession mark. If anything, I expect it to be more towards the Girona side. And if you look, for example, at some of the last couple games last season for Girona, even the games, for example, where they had 64% possession against Valencia, he had 82. He had 66% possession against Villarreal, he had 82 as well. So he goes way over this mark. If they have more possession, I see this leaning more towards the Girona side when it comes to possession, like 55. But even then, it shows you that he gets a lot of passes because he's a center back. It's the first game, so I expect it to be slower for two teams that are pretty evenly matched for the most part. So I think it's going to be a lot of feeling each other out when it comes to how they're going to play. And if you look at, for example, the first game of the season last season where they played Sociedad, Girona had 52% of the ball and he went over with 79. He's going to be playing next to Blind, who's well experienced, and he's going to be there to help him distribute the ball. So I think he has a good center back partner, same one he had last season. I think this is a good prop to take for a game where I can see Girona easily getting more possession of the ball. So I like David Lopez to go higher than 67.5 passes. The only player prop that I liked for the other game, like I said, weren't even many out, but there was one that I did like, and that's Nico Williams to go higher than 0.5 goals and assists, playing at home for Bilbao, going up against Getafe. He's coming off a great Euro run. They won the Euros. He had 3 goals and assists in 6 games. He was part of that deadly winger duo with him and Lamine Yamal. And then Getafe conceded 2 goals to Bilbao in both home and away games last season. He played in one of them, which he played them away, where Bilbao won 2-0. And he had 2 assists, so he went over this mark. And Getafe allowed 32 goals in 19 away games last season, so they were not good defensively. And there's also talks of him possibly going to Barcelona. Seemed like he was going to go, then looks like he's not going to go. So it would be a good way for him to say farewell to Bilbao if he was to go. I'm not saying he is, but there's a chance that if this is his last game, it'd be a great way for him to give him a good game in this last possible home game for Bilbao. And they have the same attack that scored 42 goals in 19 games, and I see him continuing his good form that he had in the Euros, continuing his form, going into these talks and stuff like that. And obviously, if he does good, then that's just better for us. He's a great dribbler. He's a great passer. If he shoots, he'll have great opportunities. I like this prop against a weak defensive Getafe side. I like Nico Williams to go higher than 0.5 goals and assists. I want to give a quick shout out to my partner, Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. You also get a free play for those new people that sign up and use that as well. And then also have the YouTube membership for those that are interested, especially with the European season coming up. There's going to be a lot more plays, a lot more videos than usual. And it's a great way to get the content out before everybody else. A great way to try to avoid potential bumps and get plays getting taken away, and a great way to support the channel if you're interested in that. And then I also have my Cashapp and my Fliff in the description. Fliff is a mobile app where you can play moneylines and stuff like that, so I really appreciate anybody who supports me in any way. When it comes to moneylines, it's technically 2 plays, but I'm kind of counting it as one. It's 2 plays, and it's the Athletic Bilbao. You could take the first half and the second half through a money line against Getafe. I really like this team. They have the same core. They didn't lose any major players. Same attack, same defense. They don't have Simon, who was their keeper, who's injured. But even then, they still have everybody else. Getafe had no real good transfers. They lost way more players than they gained good players. They have no reinforcements, and it's better value than taking their money line. I believe it's like at minus 240. You get much better value just taking the first half and the second half through a money line. And even if they take they take the lead in the first half, like 1-0, maybe 2-0, they're not going to be a team that sit back and just try to keep that lead, especially against a weak Getafe side. I don't see them doing that. Like I said, Bilbao scored 42 goals and only conceded 18 in 19 games, so they were a good defensive side, while Getafe scored 22 in 19 and conceded 32. While they did score 22 in those 19 games, their two main attacking forces, first of all, Mason Greenwood is not going to be there. He was on loan and he's back to his old team in Man United. So one of their two main attacking forces is not going to be there. And then the other one is Borja Mayoral, and he's not going to play. I believe he's injured. So both of their main attacking forces aren't going to be there. So I don't see them maybe even scoring a goal. They could maybe score one, but Bilbao easily outscores them. They have a much better team. And for what it's worth, Getafe have not beat Athletic Bilbao in their last 8 games, so that goes up to like 3-4 years ago and stuff like that. So I think you get good value just taking the first and second half. You can take one or the other, but I think if you just take both, if the first half hit, you break even no matter what. And in the second half, obviously the second half hit, you do great if they both hit. I just like this prop. I like this Bilbao side. You can take either or, both, or just one, the first half and the second half through your money line. Thank you everybody for watching. Getting more and more excited with this season starting back up. And like I said, before I asked if you guys think I should change the format, most of you guys said keep it the same. So that's what I'm gonna do. And like I said in the beginning of the video, but if you guys think about me making my own Discord, because I don't have my own, I just never really made one. I just didn't know if it's something you guys be interested in. It wouldn't be like another paid one or anything. It would just be a Discord, a free Discord for you guys to talk and chat about your own lines, talk about my lines, talk about next day's lines and stuff like that. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. If you could like the video, comment as well, help boost it out to other people. It doesn't matter what you say. It could be hello, it could be a question about a prop, it could be a suggestion, it could be anything. I'll really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and turn on notifications so you get notified when all these videos are out. But other than that, hope everybody has a good day, a good night, and we can cash out tomorrow.